Rolling.
Hey everybody, it's Zach Call again, owner and operator of Lisa's Passion for Popcorn, here today to give you episode 2 of the Pop Shop Show, where we talk popcorn, eat popcorn, and show you recipes that you can use at home. Today I've got my special assistant here, Tara. She's one of the managers here at Lisa's Passion for Popcorn. Tara, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit and tell everybody at home how you started working here.
Alright, yeah, so like Zach said, I am Tara. I've been working here for a little over a year. I met Zach and Brooke actually through church. They were a couple of my church leaders back in the day. And they actually got me a job next door at the Kaysville Theater, and I worked over there for about 2 years. And then about like a year and a half or so into me working over there, they offered me a job to come here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm over here now and I'm loving it. So.
Yep, absolutely. We decided she was one of the best at the theater, so we decided to steal her. Anyways, what are we doing today? Let's just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we are going to make popcorn on the cob, sort of. Zach, if you want to show us our example. They're kind of like little ears of corn. So yeah, that's what we're going to be making. They're edible and they're perfect for like a party or like decorations or anything like that.
Absolutely, I think they're absolutely adorable. Can you just tell us a little bit about what's in there?
In the deliciousness, honestly. Yeah, so it's microwaveable popcorn and it's mixed with melted marshmallows, butter, and brown sugar. And then we also added Reese's Pieces into that to give it more color and like a bit more of like a better flavor, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I love peanut butter so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and get us started then. Looks like we've got some brown sugar here. Is that what we use first?
Yes, so actually you're going to put in half a stick of butter. So I already started melting it down. So you just need a little bit of this. So you just need half a stick. Yeah, let's make sure we turn our pot back on. So yeah, you just need a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And after the butter is melted completely, you want to mix in the brown sugar. So I'm just going to mix that in. And this only takes like a minute tops to melt it in completely.
Awesome.
So I'm just going to stir that in a little bit.
Fantastic. So keep that rolling. What should I be getting ready then next?
The marshmallows, yeah.
Okay, delicious.
So you want to cut those open. Okay, so I just barely put this sugar in and it's already melted completely. So once it's melted into the butter, you just want to dump the entire bag of marshmallows in. Yes, the entire thing. So it's 1 10-ounce bag of mini marshmallows. And you want to get the minis because they melt quicker and they melt more evenly than the regular size ones. So you want to get the mini ones in there.
Right on. What am I doing now?
Waiting.
Okay, right on.
Actually, let's go over the ingredients that we need.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact,
while this is melting down.
What popcorn did you use for this?
Yes, so I used microwaveable popcorn. You can get this at like Walmart or any grocery store, and you need 2 bags of this. If you're using just like loose popcorn seed, you need 12 cups. So 2 bags of that popped is about 12 cups, so that's what we need. And then you also need. Later on, you're going to need 1 full 10.5-ounce bag of Reese's Pieces, or you can honestly use any candy you want. I use this stuff because I just love peanut butter and chocolate. I love it so much. So that's why I chose to use that. Plus, I like the colors. They're like fall colors. So that's why I chose to use those. And then you also need 1 package of tissue paper, and I use green because like the husks on corn are green, so that's why I chose to use that color. So yeah, that's all you're going to need for this.
Fantastic, cool. And you know, while that's melting down and getting ready for the popcorn, why don't you tell them a little bit about some of the flavors that we have here at Lisa's, and what are your favorite fall time treats here at the shop?
Oh boy, this is too hard. We have a ton of flavors. It's really hard to choose. For the fall time, I like pumpkin spice. It's really good. I love it. It has those like really pretty fall colors and like the perfect like pumpkin spice taste. So yeah, I really like that flavor, but I would have to say my all-time favorite candy-coated flavor is cinnamon roll. That one is definitely my favorite. I love it. I will just eat it all the time. Like, I'm one of their cooks too, and so when I cook it, I'll just snag a couple pieces. Don't tell anybody.
You gotta make sure and have confidence in your product, right? If we don't eat it, how would you guys know?
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. Well, that's almost ready there by the looks of it, or at least getting there. I'm going to get our popcorn ready to go here.
Yeah, so you want to melt it down until the marshmallows lose their shape, until it becomes just one massive like marshmallowy glob, basically is what you want to do. So I'm just going to keep stirring this. Making sure it doesn't burn.
But it's not going to completely liquefy is what you're saying?
No. Yeah, you don't want it to completely liquefy, just a little bit.
Otherwise you're going to get that burnt marshmallow in there and it's going to stink up your whole house. And just like when you leave that marshmallow in the fire too long. And we don't want any of that.
It smells like s'mores if you burn it. So, silver lining.
Maybe not the worst thing in the world though.
Not the worst, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so this is about ready to go.
Right on. So I've got our popcorn ready to go.
Yes, so
You
you
set?
just want to dump that in.
Perfect.
So I dump in like one bag at a time and stir it around, and that way it's just easier to coat that way. So just coat it as best you can. Try really hard not to break the popcorn, but obviously that's going to happen when you're stirring it.
So you might want to use, we talked about this in the first episode, you can use a thicker, tougher seed in there. It's called mushroom pop popcorn or caramel pop popcorn, and you probably won't find this in your microwavable popcorn that you have in stores, but you can buy it here at Lisa's. And that's going to be thicker and tougher, and as you stir that in, you're going to have less broken pieces. That being said, either way, it's really delicious. So ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's mix in the other one.
My job's easy here.
Yeah, super easy. So just mix it in and try to get it coated as best you can. When I tried this at home, I used like a wooden spatula and it worked really well. This time I'm using plastic, so it's kind of bending the spatula a little bit. So try to use like a wooden spoon. That's what I used and it worked out great.
Right on. Now, do we put the candy in here now, or do we do that later at the end?
Yeah, so you want to put it in after the popcorn is completely coated in the marshmallows. And then that's when you want to mix in the candy. It's going to melt the pieces a little bit, and that's okay. Yeah, it'll be fine. So, trying to scrape the bottom of it and kind of bring that up to the top.
Yeah, make sure you get those edges. You don't want to leave any of that marshmallowy goodness at the bottom of the pan, unless you want to lick the spatula out later.
You can. Yeah.
All right, we set to go? Is it the whole thing?
Yeah, it's the entire thing, and I just mix it a little bit at a time, and that way it's just easier to coat and better. Yeah, so if you just want to dump a little bit in. Again, this is one full 10.5 ounce bag. Yeah, so that's good. So I just found these at Walmart in their bags candy section. Not too hard to find. You can pretty much buy these at like any grocery store.
Should be familiar with Reese's Pieces if you're cooking at home.
All right, so
Probably
I'm gonna
heard
mix in the
before.
other ones. Arm's getting tired a little bit.
You know, this is awesome. As cute as it is, it's cool that we have something that we can make at home and that we can do relatively easily that's going to be a really neat, even as a decoration as a party or a special gift for somebody around the Halloween time.
So is that all of them?
That's it?
Alright, so you just want to mix them until they're well incorporated. Again, these will melt a little tiny bit, but it'll be fine. They'll still look great.
Yeah, and we're going to want to let it dry at the end there anyways, so that way you won't burn your hands. Or...
Exactly, yeah. So these are just about coated in all the way.
Cool.
Alright, so after this, you're going to want to take this off the heat. Don't want to burn this at all. So...
There we go. I turned our hot plate off. And what you're going to do next is you're going to actually start forming it with your hand to make it look like it is a cob of corn. And you can see this one right here that we did earlier to show you that shape that you're looking for, just like a regular ear of corn.
Yeah, so while this is cooling, it doesn't take that long to cool. I'm actually going to take these gloves off just for a second. But actually, when you go to form these shapes, it actually might be easier for you to not have any gloves on, but make sure you wash your hands. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to wrap the ears of corn. So you just need one sheet of tissue paper for each ear of corn. And I hope you guys can see this. They have folds in them already, which is the perfect width that you need. So what you're going to do is you're just going to fold them on the folds, but you want to do it accordion style. The way that these are folded in the package are not accordion style, so you make sure you want to refold them a little bit. Just going to flip those over. Alright, and these don't have to be perfect. I'll show you why in just a second.
Thank you so much.
Alright, so those this way.
There we go. Alright, we're almost there.
Alright, so I need that ear of corn.
Right here.
Alright, so here's what you're going to do. So you're going to take your ear of corn once it's molded, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second. And you want to hold it up to the tissue paper about 3 inches from the bottom, and just kind of mark it, either with like a pen or like just your finger. Alright, so this is good. So what you're going to do is you're just going to cut kind of like a little arch up to that point. I'll show you. Yeah, so just about right there. You're just going to kind of cut it into like a pointy little arch. Yeah.
Well, let's test my art skills here. It's kind of sketchy, but It's ending up a little bit more like a triangle, but I think that'll get the job done either way.
Yeah. So after you're done, you're just gonna unfold this. Alright, so this is what it should look like. And then you're just gonna take your ear of corn and place it. So the tip of the ear of corn, whoops, that's okay, we'll fix that, I just ripped that, but that's okay.
Pay no attention
You want
to it.
the ear of corn to be sticking out of this little indentation right here.
Indentation?
Right. Is that a word?
Big word of the day.
I don't know, yeah. Yep. Alright, so you're just going to place that on there and you're just going to roll this into the tissue paper. Just going to roll it, try to keep it even. Alright, that side ripped a little bit, but that's okay. Alright, so now that we have this, you're just going to take the bottom and twist it into like a handle. That way if you give it to like a little kid, it's easier for them to eat. Okay. And then you're just going to take these little triangle pieces and just fold them back. Just like you would if you're shucking an ear of corn.
Awesome. And look how pretty that is. I think that's so fun because it's something that, as you saw us do, you can make a couple mistakes in, and at the end you're still going to have something that's really easy to use and really pretty. Do you think that popcorn's ready to take out now?
Definitely. And one more tip, if you want to make these a little bit more decorative, you can take like raffia ribbon and tie it around the bottom into like a little bow. Super cute. So yeah, you can basically do whatever you want with this. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start making my little popcorn ball here.
Yeah. So if you're using gloves, hopefully it won't stick to your hands. But if you're doing this with your bare hands, make sure you coat your hands in like Crisco or just like the butter, wherever that butter went. I don't know where we got it. Yeah, but like room temperature butter. Just get it all over your hands so it's really greasy. And that way it won't stick.
And especially if it's still a little warm, a little bit hot on your hands. The worst thing in the whole world, we talked about this in the last episode, is to have something that's really hot and gooey stick to your hands. Imagine picking up a hot pan off of the furnace that you can't, or off the stove top, that you can't set back down. You can't get it off your hand because it's stuck to you.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling in the whole world.
Burns, yeah. So this should be cool to the touch by now. Yeah. So
what do you think? How'd I do?
Looked great.
Fantastic. So there's our little ear of corn. We're going to keep going, but I think we're out of time. So you've seen how we've been able to wrap it up in the paper. You saw how we cooked it, and now you can have a chance to do it at home. So thanks again for joining us. One more thing.
Sorry, one more thing. If you want to keep these a little bit more fresh, you can wrap them in plastic wrap. That way it'll keep them more fresh. But if you're doing this just like for a party in a couple hours, then like they'll be totally fine, just like this. The tissue paper should not stick to this because you want to wait to wrap it in the tissue paper until this is dry completely, which only takes like 2 or 3 minutes. So there's my tip.
Awesome, thank you. Thanks for joining us in this episode of the Pop Shop Show, and tune in next week for more recipes that you can use at home. Dope.